We'll be talking about how to standardize dates, places, and how to enter names incorrectly today. And the reason we need to learn this is because this is a worldwide tree, which means thousands and thousands of people are working on the exact same tree. And because we come from all different parts of the world and we're taught to enter in our dates and places differently, this website had to come up with one standard way of doing it so that it's extremely organized. So I'm really happy they've done that, but let's learn how to do it. So next to the birth on this man, you can see this little icon. I'm not quite sure what else to call it, but if that shows, then it means it's already standard. So you can see that his birth has standard information, death, and burial because that little icon exists on each one. Let's go over to his daughter because you can see that that icon does not exist on her birth and her death. So in order to standardize it, we will click on Edit next to her birth. And then it talks about, so at the very top, it says date of birth, and that's the one that's not standard. And then it says standardize event date. Now you would think that all you would have to do is click on that and choose from the drop-down menu and it would switch up here, but it doesn't. And so I'm sure eventually Family Tree will change that, but for right now, you have to click behind 1858 and on your keyboard hit your space bar. And on this drop-down menu, you can't choose the top because that's incorrect. You've got to go choose this bottom one that is standard. And then all of a sudden it shows the date of birth and that it has a little check mark that yes, this is standard. Now we're going to do the same thing for the birthplace. Once again, you can't click down here on the standard event place and think it's going to flip up and be right. You have to click behind USA on your keyboard, hit the space bar. You won't choose this wrong answer. You've got to choose the one with the little icon, and then it becomes standard. Now we're going to just type in here that we're standardizing, and that's the, I don't know why this information is correct, so I can't write that in. I'm just changing it, I'm standardizing it, and then I'll save it. And then you can see next to Richmond, it has this little icon now. We'll do the same with the death because it's not standard either. We'll click on Edit. Behind 1885, we'll hit the space bar. We'll go down and choose the one with the little calendar next to it because that is the correct standardized date. And then we'll come down to the reasoning and put that we're standardizing and go ahead and click on Save. You can now see that the correct date is showing in the death area. So now let's talk about how we enter names in correctly. The best way to find out how to do that is if you go clear up here to your help, click on it and type in the word names in this search bar and click on search. It will open up an article that teaches you how to enter names incorrectly. The part that I want to pull out here is down here where it says don't type names in all capital letters, don't use quotation marks, parentheses, underscores, slashes, or any other invalid characters in the name fields. Don't even use the word or in between names. Sometimes people will type in the name Susan or Susie. So they're saying don't do that, just write Susan, and then in the alternate area, if I go back down here under other information and I can say add information, under alternate name I would write Susie. So we got to be really careful here. It's not like there's a standard way to write names, but there's a correct way to enter these names. And so in order to find that, don't forget, you'll come up to help, type in names, and it will help you come to this article that you can read through to learn how to enter names correctly. That covers it for this topic.